Hello, my fellow Umudikes. How una day? How you day now? How is everything going with signing affidavits, carrying, going to court and everything, packing your bags? How is everything going? Well, this is the MOUAU Students Update brought to you by the Nigerian Student Podcast, where we discuss a lot about students' life and how to build a better life for yourself. So now, I believe you've been signing and you've started signing your affidavit and you've started packing your bags and arranging your milk and Milo and your Gary comrade. I believe so. Because school has resumed officially. But I have a question for you. When are you planning to even return to school? When do you want to return? Like, when are you planning to return back to MOUAU? Because considering the fact that the exam restarts on the 27th, students are expected to be in school from 19th. But my question for you, comrade, you hearing my voice, when do you plan to return? Like when? Leave a comment below. Let's discuss. So today I want you to join me in this discussion as we examine the perfect time to return to school. So who are you? So to help us understand this topic and to help us understand this discussion, to help us understand when it's best to return, let's consider a few variables. Now, these variables that we're about to consider are the variables, the leading factor that will determine when exactly you should consider returning back to school. So let's proceed. The first variable I want us to consider is exams restarts on the 27th. The second is you and I are not fully prepared. You know that, comrade. The third is for those of us that are in finals, final year, projects are around the corner. Fourth, according to school authorities, students are expected to resume from 19th. Now, thoughtful lecturers might, want to have revisions for their courses where they can discuss and share potential exam questions which you shouldn't miss. Although most of them have started already. Now, the fifth variable we should consider is this is for those of us living in hostels. Hostel won't be open until 19th. The last but not the least, which I believe is one of the most important variable that should be the number one variable, is most of us haven't gathered enough money to resume with. Billings choke, and most of us have not gathered enough money. Most of us are even waiting for our monthly salaries. For most of us have started teaching or started doing business. So considering all these variables above, all these variables are listed, when should you return? Now let's discuss about this. The truth of the matter is, I'm not here to choose a date for you. Neither am I here to tell you when to return. It's all left for you to decide after listening to this voice note. Is this a voice note after listening to this message? I'm just here to suggest to you when I feel you should return from my own perspective and from an unbiased perspective, because we listed a lot of variables that will be, that you should consider. So without prejudice and without bias, let's discuss. Now, one thing I want to start with is this. If you live off campus, which means if you live in lodge, I humbly suggest you start coming back immediately. Start coming back before 17th, not before 19th. You should be in school before 17th of this month. Sorry, be in your lodge before 17th of this month so that you can effectively prepare for this exam. Now, I want you to listen with understanding and carefully. This exam is not going to be beans. It's not going to be Gary and Oba. I believe we have all missed this combo. Why am I saying this? Most lecturers have reviewed their questions. They just calm down and use these 3 months. This is not to inject fear inside of you. We'll be discussing about this particular thing next week, Wednesday. So stick around so you can learn how to prepare effectively for exams. I just wanted to, prepare your mind. The exam is not going to be beans, especially for those of us that didn't open book throughout this holiday, that have not opened books since the day we started this shutdown, which means for 3 months we've not opened books. So this exam is not going to be beans. But if you know you've been opening your book, even if not consistently, just checking 1 or 2 things, it's going to be, bread and butter for you. It might be bread and butter for you. But for most of us that have not opened one, please start coming back immediately before 17th, especially for those of us that are even taking 12 courses. I just wanted to let you know this particular one. And one other thing, some thoughtful lecturers and some good lecturers would love to utilize this free period that we have, this 19th to 27th, to have a revision class to help us students. This is one reason why you should also consider coming back before 19th, so you don't miss this. Because, see, some lecturers, they just want to help, and they'll be fixing revision classes. And the truth of the matter is, those revision classes, most of them just wants to, give you potential questions that you should expect. Not just expect, that you will see when you resume back. And which we'll be discussing further on this next week, Wednesday, by 5 p.m. So don't miss this. That particular class, you should not miss it. Wednesday, 5 p.m. So which means you should return before 19th. Most of them will be facing lectures or revisions on 19th, or when is 19th? Let me check the date. Okay, most of them will be fixing lectures or revision 20th, 21st. So you should not miss it. And remember, once you've missed it, you've missed it. If you ask your course mates, they'll tell them from the one they had, or from the one they wrote down. I wanted to say wrote it down. Waiting they worry me. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Because from experience, I'm speaking from experience. Hear me out. A lecturer in my department have already arranged a class for my department as I'm speaking with you. So this is just to, it's not limited to my department. Other departments, some lecturers are also fixing revisions. I don't know if a lecturer have already fixed a revision class for you. Let me know in the comment section so that we can relate. I'm just sharing this for us to be fully prepared. And one other reason why you should consider returning before 19th is so that you can arrange your room, especially for those of us that have paid for lodge this year. If you have not paid, as you're coming back, one of these two things might have happened. One, either your room is still open and intact, or two, your landlord have locked your room. So, but if you have not paid, try to pay. Me, I've not completed mine. I'm still asking God, I beg, help me. Let me raise some funds. If I pay my fees, my school fees, I pay for lodge. So if you have not paid, please pay up. And if you've paid, come back so that you can arrange your room and prepare ahead. And now, what about those of us who live in the hostels? When should we even consider returning? My dear, Biko, comrade, return as soon as possible. Where are you going to stay? Are you asking me? Okay, return as soon as possible and stay with those of your trusted friends that lives in lodge. Are you hearing me? Trusted friends. I didn't say stay with your friends. I said trusted friends. It's not friends that you stay with and you start entering. Let me stop there. Stay with your trusted friends, because this will give you an advantage to start preparing early and well. Imagine you plan to come back 19th. You're living in Lagos. You enter night bus. You enter school. Let's say, hold up, things happened. You entered 21st. You might have missed a revision class. And if you enter, remember, that day is gone. From Wednesday. Do you have from Wednesday to 25th, 26th to prepare for the exams that are lined up already from 27th? No. These are things we should be considering. Is 1 week even enough to prepare for the things you learned in 3 weeks, in 3 months? No. So you should come back early, stay with your friends. Once they open the hostel, you just pack in. As simple as that. So if you're living in Lagos, Abuja, or all these far states, come back as soon as possible, stay with your trusted friends, and start hyping. Start preparing so that once they open the hostels on 19th, you pack in and continue your hyping. Next week, 27th, it's exam. You are ready for it. So I'm just here to announce this. Let me be a town crier and pour out my heart. I want you to do well in school. Not just in school, outside school. But for now, you are a student. Do well as a student. So, come back early as soon as you can. But Sir Max, my head don't block. My head is blocked already. How do I even start to prepare for this exam? If this is your question, don't worry. If this question is on your mind, don't worry. By 5 p.m. next Wednesday, we'll be discussing on how to fully prepare for this forthcoming exam. See, this exam is not going to be beans like I told you earlier, but 5 p.m. I'm going to share with you a method I call the SMART move. If you apply this SMART move, there is no exam that you will not write well. If you apply the SMART move. Remember, I didn't say if you listen to the podcast, or if you listen to that episode, I said if you apply the method that I'll be sharing on that Wednesday by 5 p.m. here, come on. If you don't pass that exam, let me just stop there. Apply them first. Apply them before the exam and see your results. So please, you don't want to miss this. You shouldn't miss it, and please don't even miss it if you want to do well in this forthcoming exam. If you have any questions, please let us know. We are just here. I'm a fellow student like you in my finals, so I'm just here to help my fellow students. Not running for any political stuff in your school, but I just want to help. We are here to help. And if you have been hearing my voice, kindly comment smart move. This will help us know who truly are our friends who have been listening down to this particular time, this particular minute. Comment smart move. We might have something for you. Might. All right, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really, really grateful that you are here with me. You are here listening to my tiny, small voice. It's still your boy, Maxwell Friday, and this is the Nigerian Student Podcast. The podcast that is here to elevate you from being a student to being a world changer. So remember this. Never forget this. Never forget this as you live. As long as you live, you were fearfully and wonderfully made. You are the head and not the tail. Comrade, you are the head and not the tail. Comrade, you are a burning and shining light. So, keep shining. God loves you, and I will see you on Wednesday. Take control of every situation, and please prepare for your exams. And prize Gary for 2 of us. See you next Wednesday. Take care.